Welcome to the show for this week's Super Rugby review that started with more a hiss than a roar when the Highlanders fell to the Hurricanes in a match that never reached great heights. Elsewhere, the Lions snatched the game off the Rebels for their second win on tour. The Crusaders machine cranked it up another notch to obliterate the Cheetahs. No luck for the Force, another side to have the game wrestled from them at the last. A 14-man Chiefs fumbled their way to a loss and look a far less menacing side without SBW, and the Waratahs found their home form to keep the Brumbies at bay.
Both teams had a bit of a scratchy start. Execution was a bit of a problem for us and couldn't quite get out of our half. And luckily for us, I guess, the Hurricanes couldn't make the most of that first 10 minutes when they had us under the pump. But, once both teams got into the game, there was some good footy played and, could have gone either way at the end.
Some fundamental errors in those first 10 minutes, wasn't it? Missed kicks and a few drop passes, and people seem to maybe pushing things a bit hard.
Yeah, a little bit. Aaron Smith doesn't normally kick the ball out on the full, and he did 2 in 5 minutes, and which is, hopefully is only 2 for the year. So, it was a big game for both teams. There's a lot of media around the game, and I think both teams were a little bit nervous at the start.
Massive defensive walls, both teams.
Yeah, both teams defend very similar. Don't commit a lot of players to the breakdown and fill the field with defenders. So. There was some big hits and some great defence all night. They knew that if they shut down Malachi and our wingers and Ben Smith, it'd go a long way for them to win the game. And although I thought Ben Smith was outstanding tonight, they kept the other guys pretty quiet.
And you did the same with Savia and Corey Jane. They never got away from that.
Yeah, I think our defence was great tonight. I think a little bit of better execution and maybe a few referees' calls go our way and the result's different.
It was a couple of tough calls, but the guys seemed to put it aside and get on with the game.
Yeah, you have to put it aside, but at the end of the day it probably costs you. So, it's just one of those things. It's footy and a game as close as that hinges on referees' calls at times. When we got 10 points behind or whatever it was, 14 points behind, sort of freed us up a little bit and we started to play some really good footy. But the lesson for us there is that we've got to pull the trigger on that sort of thing right from the start of the game, and if we can do that and back ourselves a bit more, we'll beat a lot of good sides.
They came out quite strong at the start of the second half, didn't they? Really put you to the test there.
Yeah, they kept the ball at the start of that second half and put us under pressure. I don't think we got the ball until 20 minutes into the second half, and probably at the end of the day that might have won them the game.
One thing you are doing this year that maybe not in the past, and that's picking up points every week, because even in a loss you've got something to show for it.
Yeah, that's the key to winning this competition or making the playoffs, is getting something out of every game. We've dropped 2 games at home, so we've got to win the rest of our home games and pick up a few away now. So it makes it hard, but I think there was a very good Hurricane side, and they're not going to be too far away from the playoffs. So it's up to us now to force our case and beat some good sides.
Get that Easter break coming up after the Storm, so you really can throw everything into next week's game, can't you?
Yeah, exactly. And the Storm was a very good side, but it's probably a must-win for us. And I think if we have the same preparation and the same focus and just get our execution a little bit better, I think we'll be fine next week.
Good Highlanders team, and they've been playing some good football this year as well, so it did make us work hard. I guess both teams didn't start the way we wanted to start, but it was good for the boys to get through that type of game and still get the win.
Wasn't the try-fest that everyone was sort of hoping for? Why not?
I think both teams put each other under big pressure. They both played well defensively, and it's always hard playing a New Zealand team when they get up defensively and put you under pressure like that. So probably credit to both defences out there, and that's probably a big reason why a lot of tries weren't scored. So we saw that they were playing well defensively, and we just needed to go back to our game and to try to be real basic and just do our core roles accurately. And I felt like the boys did that, especially up front. Our boys went forward well, got us good ball, and we could launch well as backs.
There's always a big hype about the battle with you and Aaron Smith, but is it really one-on-one at the back of the scrum?
It's not. You don't. Very rarely do you get to play against each other, tackle each other, or try go at each other one-on-one. It's definitely a team game, especially from a halfback's perspective. Maybe a little bit different on the wing, where you face up against each other a lot, or in the midfield where you're constantly facing each other. But as nines, we tend to be passing the balls behind our pack and stuff like that. So there's no real one-on-one competitiveness.
There was one moment though where you made that break and you flicked the pass inside and Aaron sneaked it.
He sneaked it, yeah, he did well. I actually thought, I was supposed to give that to Siege actually, and Nuggy did well to get in that passing lane, and he's good at that, he does that well.
You have a great combination with Bowden these days, you know where each other is.
Yeah, we played together a long time now. I've known him since school and played alongside him for a long time, so having a player like him who's very calm and collected out on the field, and in games like this when things aren't going too well, you always look to him and he seems to be able to make the right calls, and he's always seems to be level-headed, so it's always nice having a type of player like that out there as well.
You think the game was in the bag when you scored your try, a bit of comfort?
Probably never comfort against a team like this. You saw that without that forward pass, they probably draw the game at the end there, so a team like the Highlanders, you never ever write them off. They got some of the best attacking players in the world, so you probably never home until the that whistle goes.
How satisfying keeping this winning record intact? It's an amazing start.
Yeah, it is satisfying. It's probably more satisfying to be able to win a game where you don't play your best footy. That's something that we'll take from this game. There's a lot of negatives you can probably take from it. The positives are we win a game where we didn't play our best sort of footy, which is that's going to be good for us going forward as well. And being 5-0 is always nice. Like, I'm not going to lie to you, it's nice to win 5 games, but you don't win the championship in the first 5 games of the season either.
She was pretty tough, all right. A few sore boys floating around, a few ice picks in the change room, so disappointing, but yeah, it was a good battle.
You had a lot of conversations with the referee. What was the crux of that?
Basically just talking about trusting him to keep the scrum straight, and we sort of had a pretty positive attitude on how we wanted to scrum, so I think our scrum went pretty good, so it'll be interesting to review the tape, but I think we're pretty happy with it. Sometimes you learn a lot more from your losses, and it was a pretty tight game, pretty hard game. All our games have been pretty hard, so we'll take a bit out of that and back to the drawing board, and obviously a big test with the Stormers next week, but should be fizzing for it.
You're always in the hunt today, though, aren't you?
Yeah, and I think we felt comfortable throughout the game. We sort of trusted that we'll finish strong, and a few things didn't go away at the end, a few calls didn't go away, and just the rub of the green. So we got a lot of confidence in the group, so we won't drop our heads after that.
A lot of excitement over a try that wasn't at the end there, a bit of disappointment.
Yeah, apparently it was a little bit forward, but I ran the extra 40 metres to give the boys a hug, but it wasn't to be.
Well, Sean, you're in the thick of it. All the action seemed to be in the midfield.
Yeah, there was quite a bit. A lot of traffic coming down our way, but it's always good to get in a game like that, so I was happy with that.
You must enjoy an outing against a lot of friends.
Yeah, there was. Obviously, know pretty much the whole team. So there's always a bit of extra something when you're playing against your mates, and there's a lot of feeling out there tonight.
You have an advantage? Do you get a feel for what sort of play they're going to call?
Yeah, obviously the New Zealand teams, you sort of know what to expect. You know their strengths and weaknesses and stuff like that, but they're always tough games, the New Zealand games, and it showed tonight as well. They play pretty well.
4 of the best wingers in the competition, but they hardly got sort of clean chances, did they?
Yeah, it was more of a sort of forwards game, and there was a lot of action, but it came down to the little things and around the rucks at the end. They were pretty good there, and they got a couple of tries on us just at the end there, and so it closed out the game.
Must be one of the most exciting backlines you've played in down here with all the talent you've got.
Yeah, there's lots at the moment. Obviously our Fijian mates on the wings playing pretty good, along with Bender and Malakai, dynamic runners. So, we're gelling well as a backline, and hopefully can keep on, if we get some good ball, keep on going.
How do you play with a player like Ben Smith? He just seems to make things up, and how do you keep track of what to do and support him?
Yeah, it's hard. Like Mulla's the same. It's hard to know what they're doing, but that's why they're good players, and you just have to keep up and keep really switched on because anything can happen. So, but it's awesome to watch. It's pretty important for us to get some good points out of our home game. So we're going to really target next week, and we've got a bye, so we'll go all out there.
Fans are turning up in droves every week.
Yeah, they are. It's awesome. The Dunedin crowds always sort of come, winning or losing, so hopefully they keep on coming and supporting us. It's awesome.
Despite the loss, the Highlanders remain in the top 6, headed by the unbeaten Hurricanes at the top. The Brumbies also still number 1 in Oz, so keep their place in the top 3, with the remaining playoff spots filled by the Stormers and Sharks. It was inevitable the Crusaders would rise through the ranks and are now just a point away from cracking the elite. The Tars, Bulls and Rebels remain genuine contenders, with the Lions an outside chance, having picked up points on a difficult road trip. Mathematically, all are still in the hunt, but the odds get longer by the week for those in the lower reaches.